Hi guys, this is Josh with Pomeroy Creative. Welcome back to another video in this series on designing in Google. Why are we creating a series on designing in Google? Why would we use Google web apps to try to design anything? Well, we believe we have a really good reason. And the question that's kind of driving this is, could anybody on any platform with just a web browser create something that's truly professional quality with a very limited set of tools? Do you have to have Photoshop? Do you have to have, certain design tools or software platforms out there to be a professional graphic designer? And so that's our question is, also, how far can we push the boundaries of what this stuff was made for? We enjoy using Google already for all sorts of collaborative projects and sort of gathering content as well as managing calendars and a lot of the stuff that we do just sort of in the office. We've been using Google Docs a lot for like writing up our contracts, and we can, use Google Sheets for doing our spreadsheets and all sorts of stuff. Laura's really been using it longer than I have, but now we're using it a lot together. Here we are in Google Drive, and I'm just going to go into one of my folders, and I want to show you sort of the latest project that we're working on. And this is another RIP flyer. It's got a business card at the bottom that is perforated and will tear off once it's printed and processed that way. So we're designing it for that specifically. So this is Google Drawings, and we are just again, I'll show you how to set up a custom page size. When you go to File, Page Setup, and then you see this little window here. You can put in your dimensions. Again, we used a template from our printer to get these dimensions, and so then we're just designing right on top of that. So what do we have going on here in Google Drawings? First of all, I'm going to go back a step and create a copy of this. You can just right click and say make copy. It's creating the copy there for us, and I'm going to close this original. So now let's play around with the copy. The reason I do that in here is because all of the changes are automatically saved, which is actually a really great feature. But I don't want to mess up anything because we've already got the final approval on the one I just showed you. So this one I can play around with. So here's some of the things we have going on in Google Drawings. We've got the ability to create object-based layout. So all of these pieces I can just grab and move around. I can group things together. I can ungroup them. I've got all these great smart guides that Google has, and so I can totally just deconstruct all of this stuff here and show you what's going on. If you're on a Mac, Command and Option and the plus key will zoom you in. Command, Option, and minus can zoom you out, and then holding Shift you can scroll horizontally. With the mouse wheel you can scroll vertically. So here's what we've got. Just a whole bunch of pieces. I've created these sort of icicle shapes here just using the curve tool under the line menu here, the curve tool. Curve and polylines will create solid shapes once you click on the first point. I'll just show you that really quick. Here's the polyline tool, so I can create these sort of real basic geometric shapes like this. And as you saw, as soon as I clicked on the point that I started with, it created a solid shape. The curve tool works the same way. So I've done that to create again these sort of like icicle shapes, and I don't care that these are going off the edge. I know what's going to be trimmed, so I just let them go off the edge in this design. If you save it as a PDF and then open up the PDF that's going to be, constrained to the document boundaries, so it'll look much nicer. And you might want to show that if you're doing this for a client. I also have an image in here. As you see, this sort of texture thing here, this is just an image that I found. Had some nice texture, and so I've just placed it over everything that I wanted it over, kind of behind this, like the logo here and this text title, but in front of a lot of the background pieces. And under image options, you get this little flyout off on the right side of the screen, and I've applied the dark number 6 color preset, and then I've adjusted some of these transparency, made it very, very transparent. This is what it originally looked like. So I've made it very transparent, but still has a lot of nice little grain and texture in here. So if I zoom in really tight, you can see all that. So the final product looked something like this. Once we download it as a PDF, again, it will we'll cut it just to the document dimensions and look nice and neat. And the client really liked these. We're very, very happy with them. So we're going to get these printed for their next sale coming up. That's at the Birdcage. If you're local, check it out. It's off of M59 towards Heartland if you're coming from Howell. And pick one of these up and get your 20% off. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.